47 seconds ago, Adam Schiff opened a classified folder in the Senate Intelligence Committee chamber and positioned it in front of the C-SPAN camera. 18 million Americans saw the CIA letterhead and the date that would destroy everything, February 26, 2026, 2 days before 340 American service members died in Iranian strikes. 2 days before FBI Director Patel swore under oath that no intelligence warnings existed. The folder contained a 47-page assessment delivered to Patel's desk at 6:23 a.m. on February 26, outlining the Iranian military operation that would begin 52 hours later. According to Patel's testimony 3 weeks ago, that document never existed. Schiff was about to prove he lied. Senate Intelligence Committee, Room 216, 9:47 a.m. Patel entered flanked by 6 attorneys, Navy suit, American flag pin. His face showed no concern. He believed the intelligence document he'd ordered destroyed on February 27th was gone forever, erased using the same protocols that worked for the Epstein files. But someone had kept a copy. Someone had delivered every page to Schiff's office with a note. They knew. Prove it. The gallery was packed with military families who had buried their children. They sat in front rows, silent, waiting for answers denied for 3 weeks. Cameras from every network positioned at precise angles. Journalists who had covered Washington for decades recognized the energy. Something was about to break. The first 90 minutes proceeded as scripted. Republicans praised Patel's crisis leadership. Democrats pressed on intelligence failures. Patel deflected with bureaucratic precision, citing ongoing investigations. His answers were smooth, designed to reveal nothing while appearing cooperative. He checked his watch twice, took measured sips from his water glass with steady hands. No indication his career would collapse in 11 minutes. No sign he knew Schiff had spent 6 weeks building an inescapable trap. But the folder on Schiff's desk didn't just contain one document. It contained the intelligence assessment, deletion logs, desperate CIA emails, security access records, and witness statements from 3 FBI employees who had watched Patel personally override every safeguard. The folder was a kill shot, methodically assembled, forensically documented, legally bulletproof. At 11:03 a.m., Chairman Warner recognized Senator Schiff. The room shifted immediately. Reporters stopped mid-scroll. Patel's attorneys went rigid, because everyone knew Schiff never asked questions without ironclad documentation. And when he brought a classified folder, someone's career was ending. The red-striped folder sat on Schiff's desk like a loaded weapon. Patel's eyes tracked to it for 2 seconds, running scenarios. His right hand moved toward the table edge. His tell. "Director Patel," Schiff began, voice carrying prosecutorial calm. "I want to ask about intelligence procedures regarding time-sensitive threat assessments." Patel nodded, still confident. "Of course, Senator. The FBI maintains rigorous protocols for intelligence handling." "Excellent," Schiff said. Something in that word dropped the temperature. So when the FBI receives credible intelligence about imminent threats to U.S. military bases, there are legally mandated protocols for immediate distribution to defense and congressional oversight? Patel's hand moved to his tie. First visible stress. Absolutely. Any credible, actionable intelligence triggers immediate notification. Immediate notification, Schiff repeated, transforming bureaucratic jargon into accusation, especially critical for coordinated attacks with high casualty projections, correct? Correct, Patel confirmed, hand now flat on the table, bracing. His jaw tightened. The cameras caught it. Schiff opened his folder with deliberate precision. Red classification stripes caught the lights. Every camera zoomed in. Director Patel, are you familiar with CIA Intelligence Assessment Sierra Tango 7749, dated February 26, 2026? Patel's face went pale in 3 seconds, color draining dramatically. His mouth opened, closed, no sound. His attorney leaned in urgently, recognizing the document code Schiff had spoken aloud. But Patel seemed paralyzed. His eyes locked on that folder with shock, panic, and terrible realization that the document he'd personally deleted was on Schiff's desk. Because that document code wasn't public, Only someone with direct intelligence access would know it, and Patel knew it, which meant Schiff had the actual document. Senator, Patel managed, voice strained. Without seeing the specific document, I cannot comment on individual intelligence products. Standard protocol for sensitive materials in open testimony. Let me refresh your memory, Schiff interrupted, holding up CIA letterhead with classification markings positioned for every camera. This is a 47-page assessment from the Iran Mission Center, delivered to your office February 26th at 6:23 a.m. Subject: Imminent Iranian multi-vector strike operation, U.S. targets. Priority Alpha. Mandatory action, 4 hours. Complete silence. The suffocating silence of something that changes everything. Military families gripped their chairs. Journalists typed frantically but quietly. Schiff read precisely. Quote, CIA sources with direct access to IRGC command report imminent authorization for coordinated strikes targeting U.S. installations. Primary targets: Al-Assad Air Base Iraq, Al-Dhafra Air Base UAE, Camp Lemonnier Djibouti. Strike window, 48 to 72 hours. Assessed probability, 87%. Estimated casualties if unprepared, 200-400 personnel. He paused. 200-400 casualties. The actual death toll was 340. The CIA was accurate within 15%. Someone in the gallery gasped. A woman in the front row, military uniform visible beneath her coat, put her hand over her mouth. Her son had died at Al-Assad. The assessment had predicted his death 2 days before it happened, and the man sitting at that witness table had buried the warning. This assessment was flagged Priority Alpha, requiring immediate distribution to Defense, National Security, Congressional Intelligence. The distribution list is here. He held up another page. FBI Director Kash Patel listed as primary recipient with mandatory action requirement within 4 hours. Patel sat frozen, face glistening with perspiration, his hands trembling badly enough that he clasped them together. Director Patel, Schiff said quietly, this was delivered at 6:23 a.m. February 26th. The attacks occurred 10:47 p.m. February 28th. That is 64 hours. The assessment said 48 to 72 hours. They were exactly right. So, when did you inform Congress of this imminent threat? 20 seconds of silence. Patel's mouth opened, but no words emerged. His hand moved to his water glass, trembling so badly that water sloshed over the rim. Every camera captured it. His lead attorney was writing something frantically on a legal pad, underlining it twice, sliding it in front of Patel. But Patel's eyes couldn't seem to focus on the words. He was trapped, and everyone in that room could see it happening in real time. Senator, Patel spoke, voice strained. Intelligence assessments require verification, coordination, careful evaluation before distribution to avoid creating unnecessary panic. So you did receive this document, Schiff cut in sharply. 3 weeks ago, you told Senator Collins, and I quote, the FBI received no specific, credible intelligence warnings regarding Iranian strike capabilities prior to February 28th. You said that under oath. But you had this 47-page CIA assessment 2 days before the attack. Were you lying then, or are you lying now? The trap had closed. Patel looked desperately at his attorneys. They had nothing. Senator, there could be different interpretations of what constitutes specific versus general threat reporting. Director Patel, Schiff interrupted, voice rising. Let me show you something else. He pulled a second document. This is FBI Data Management Log, dated February 27th. It shows that at 11:34 p.m., CIA document Sierra Tango 7749 was permanently deleted from FBI servers using emergency override protocols, requiring director-level authorization. He turned it toward cameras. The deletion was executed using your personal authorization code from your office terminal. Less than 24 hours before 340 Americans died in attacks, this document predicted with 87% accuracy. The chamber erupted, journalists standing, military families shouting, Republican senators genuinely shocked, the chairman banging his gavel repeatedly over the chaos. Patel tried to stand, but his legs couldn't support him. He sat back hard, face contorted with panic. Director Patel, Schiff continued over the noise. You received intelligence that 340 Americans were about to die. You had 64 hours to evacuate those bases, reinforce defenses, prepare. Instead of distributing that intelligence as required by law, instead of warning Congress as mandated by statute, you deleted it. You destroyed the warning and lied about it under oath. Schiff pulled out one final document. This is an email from CIA Iran Mission Center, Chief Dr. Sarah Chen, February 26th at 2:47 p.m. Quote, Director Patel, I urgently request confirmation of threat warning distribution to DoD and congressional oversight. Our sources indicate strike authorization is imminent. Time is critical. She sent 3 follow-up emails over 12 hours. You never responded. Then you deleted the document she was asking about. The silence that followed was different. This was grief, rage, 340 families realizing someone had known and done nothing. Director Patel, Schiff said, voice carrying absolute authority, I want you to look at the cameras. The families of 340 Americans who died February 28th are watching. He paused. Did you delete credible intelligence about an imminent Iranian attack because distributing it would have been politically inconvenient for an administration that had declared there were no active threats? At 11:14 a.m., Patel completely lost composure. Face flushed, hands shaking, voice cracking. Senator, this is outrageous. You are creating a false narrative to score political points. Then explain the context, Schiff shot back. Explain why you deleted intelligence that could have saved 340 lives. Explain why you lied to Congress. Explain why you never responded to Dr. Chen's urgent requests. Explain it. Patel had nothing. His attorneys conferring frantically, but there was no strategy to explain away the congressional record. Mr. Chairman, Patel's lead attorney stood abruptly. My client invokes his Fifth Amendment right and will not answer further questions regarding these matters. Fifth Amendment. The FBI director was taking the Fifth rather than explain why he deleted intelligence about an attack that killed 340 Americans. Schiff nodded slowly, expecting exactly this. The FBI director believes answering questions about destroyed intelligence warnings would incriminate him. He looked at the cameras. The American people should understand what that means. Within minutes, footage was everywhere. Patel's face draining when Schiff mentioned the document, water spilling from trembling hands, the Fifth Amendment moment. Patel, caught lying about Iran intelligence, trended worldwide within 20 minutes. Military family groups called for criminal investigation. Republican senators who defended him that morning issued resignation statements by noon. By 3 p.m., the Department of Justice announced special counsel investigation into obstruction, destruction of intelligence materials, and perjury. By 6 p.m., 3 FBI whistleblowers came forward with additional documentation. By 9 p.m., the White House refused to comment on Patel's status, a telling silence Washington recognized as cutting loose a catastrophic liability. Sometimes accountability requires one prosecutor with a classified folder, patience to build an inescapable trap, and courage to ask questions that expose truth. Schiff had the documents. Patel had nothing but lies that collapsed under their own weight. 47 seconds. That is all it took for the document Patel said never existed to destroy his career, expose his lies, and prove 340 Americans died because someone decided political convenience was more important than their lives. The document existed. The warning was given, and Kash Patel deleted it anyway.